Welcome back to Mets Nets Jets D podcast. We are here on October 28th, a Monday, coming to you live. This is the NFL Showdown breakdown between Miami and Pittsburgh. After this, I'm gonna go through a few NBA picks that I do like through the DK Sportsbook app. We're sponsored by Run DFS. Don't forget, go to that website, rundfs.com. Get signed up. Get into the Discord chat. Get into the community that's going to help you get more money, all right? Especially with the DFS, with the bets. Everything is available in that website. Get connected. Go to rundfs.com. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, Mets Nets Jets D. We're currently at 84 subscribers. I want to push it over. I want 90. Please sign up. Please click the subscribe button. Mets Nets Jets D. You see that bottom right corner. Subscribe. You see that bell. You get the notification every time I do post a video. You'll be the first ones. All right. Views, comments are important. Let's get into the Miami game between Miami and the Pittsburgh Steelers for Monday Night Football. We're looking at captain, and already I have a problem. James Conner is 20,000. James Conner is 20,000. Already I'm at. Oh my God, they really priced this man up. To me, these showdowns come to a money game, and I'm just like playing something out right now. If you just go James Conner and you try to get the quarterback and a wide receiver, you're already hampered. So automatically, I don't think he's the captain to have, just numbers wise, because it's not adding up. Going off of what I think a huge injury report was that Jalen Samuels, who's practiced fully all week long, he's most likely going to be cleared if he practiced all week long fully. He was a full participant. That's huge news. The next news was that the Miami Dolphins have traded Kenyon Drake to the Cardinals, so that opens up a huge spot for Mark Walton as well. He will be the starting running back now for the Miami Dolphins. I'm about to say Marlins. Miami Dolphins. But in this matchup, I feel like Mason Rudolph, they were babying him. If you remember 2 weeks ago, they were doing a lot of running. It was him giving the ball to Jalen Samuels and James Conner. They were using a wildcat. Don't forget, Mason Rudolph, they can't open a playbook like they did with Devlin Hodges. Hodges was the type of quarterback that as soon as he came in, he tried to chuck it. He was just chucking it. They run a little bit of different offense with Mason Rudolph. So I like this discount here at captain, 6,600. Him coming back is a huge thing. If you look at the game log, like I said, against the Cincinnati Bengals, they used him to a T, 10 for 26, 8 for 57 receiving, and they even had him throwing passes, which was a shock to me. And Cincinnati is a similar defense to Miami because these are technically the bottom two teams in the league between Cincinnati and the Miami Dolphins. He got injured in that Baltimore Ravens game. He was being used. He did have 3 attempts. He did catch passes, but he did get hurt and leave the game. That's one option if you want to go cheaper, because you're going to have to afford. You want to afford James Conner, and you want to afford Dante Johnson is a huge target for Mason Rudolph. And then I also like Vance McDonald. So another captain I would like to have is going to be the defense of the Steelers. I understand Ryan Fitzpatrick chucks the ball. He does not care. He's a gunslinger, but he does have the propensity to throw interceptions, fumbles. He's erratic. So if he has one of his erratic days, then 100% this Steelers defense, this steel curtain is going to be huge, especially at home. They already done very well against the Chargers. 2 interceptions, only allowed 17 points. Against Lamar Jackson, forced him into 3 interceptions, sacked him 5 times. They sacked Cincinnati's Bengal Andy Dalton 8 times, only gave up 3 points. It's like this. I think the Steelers D is one of my favorite captain spot options. Then you'll get James Conner at a cheaper price. You can fit in Dante Johnson. I already said I love Jalen Samuels coming back into this lineup. See, Juju suffers with Mason Rudolph. As you can see, 4.5. He hasn't really gone off yet. Didn't really do much against the Chargers. That's a tough call right there. So, matter of fact, let's try to force him in. You have to make a decision between either wide receiver. You have to make a decision between Dante Johnson or Juju. Most people will go Juju. And then if you want to bring it back, definitely I like Devontae Parker or Mike. Where's he at? Mark Walton right there at 6K. Those are 2 options I like bringing it back on the Miami side. I do not see Miami keeping this competitive. The fact that the steel curtain is at home is another factor. I see turnover city for Ryan Fitzpatrick going up against this defense in Pittsburgh. It's a totally different factor. Please get yourself some either Mark Walton or Devontae Parker if you want to bring it back. Okay, if you want to go cheaper, Albert Wilson is a dude that can get open. Mike Gesicki, he's been using him a little bit more. Ryan Fitzpatrick, he didn't get in the end zone, but he has been getting receptions and yards. So I'm leaning more towards Steelers defense because I know the type of quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick is. Or if you want to go cheap, I like Jalen Samuels. If not, if you don't like to go with those 2 guys, then you have Juju you can go with or Dante Johnson, all right? So we're going to move on from that, obviously, to the DK Sportsbook app. We're in the NBA section. You already know I like the Steelers to win this game. They, so far right now, I think the total right here, they got the Steelers minus 14. So you can, and that's you're not even getting even money back. It's minus 110. Steelers, they should cover that. 14 points. I'm not too worried about that 14 points. They should cover that. Yeah. So let's move on to the NBA. Give you some picks. Some money line picks. If you want to take the points, that's up to you. First game, we have the Indiana Pacers against the Detroit Pistons. Detroit Pistons do not have what's his name? They don't have Jackson. What's his name? Reggie Jackson. That's his name. They don't have the point guard Reggie Jackson. That's going to be more minutes for Derrick Rose, and they do not have Blake Griffin. So that's more time for Andre Drummond to get a huge double-double like he usually does. So if you want to take the rebound, let's see what they got to set at. If you want to do player props right here, go to that section. Let's see if they even allow you to do it. Andre Drummond, 18 points. He should do that. Rebounds over 16. I would take that. I would take that at plus money. Without Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond becomes a beast on the boards, and his usage rates goes way up. Indiana Pacers has let me down so far this season. They struggled the first couple games, but they should win this matchup. Just the fact that they're more healthy, and I like their bench with Sabonis coming off the bench, helping Brogdon, helping Miles Turner beat the Detroit Pistons. Okay, so I would go with that minus 120 in the Indiana Pacers. Next game, we have the Chicago Bulls and the New York Knicks. I'm leaning towards the New York Knicks getting their first win. Bulls have played tough, but they're a young team. Kobe White has looked great in the first couple of games, but I like the fact that the Knicks, they fight in every single game against the Spurs, against the Nets, and even Boston, they had leads in all those games and they almost won those first two, but they seem to lack a final push in the fourth quarter, and that's where they tend to lag off, especially against the Celtics, where they lost it, and in the fourth quarter they got blown out. All right, but I do like the Knicks to get their first win today, and then you get a great price at that plus 108. Might as well just take the plus 2.5 if you don't feel confident. This game, they're home. I don't think they get beaten by 3 points. Take that plus 2.5. That's a great price right there for the New York Knicks. Next game, we have the Philadelphia 76ers at minus 120 against the Atlanta Hawks with the plus 180 money line. Trae Young has been on fire, but this is the type of team that you run into, and they're going to put out that fire. We have a stacked lineup. We don't have information on Joel and Embiid yet. He still might not play. He's questionable currently. Even with him out, I think it's too much firepower that the 76ers have. Tobias Harris, Ben Simmons, Al Horford. The list goes on and on with this stacked lineup. Give me the minus 220, and I'd probably take that 5.5. They should cover that 5.5 as well. There's just too much talent on this 76ers team, despite the fact that they're on the road. So I like those two options right there. The next game, we have Orlando Magic going to Canada against the Toronto Raptors. This should be a prime position for Kyle Lowry to step up, and Siakam, who got in foul trouble the last game. He's going to have to deal with Aaron Gordon, but I don't think that's a huge problem. I like that minus 200 in the Raptors. They're home. They are the better team. For Magic to even come close, they're going to need Terrence Ross, a former Raptor player. He's going to have to hit a ton of threes coming off the bench. They're going to need that production from him to go up against this Raptors team that doesn't have superstars, like superstars, but they have a solid rotation with Van Vliet, Siakam, Gasol, Anunoby, and then they got Ibaka coming off the bench, Norman Powell. Give me the Raptors, okay? The next game, we have a little revenge narrative. The OKC Thunder against the Houston Rockets. This is tight. It's kind of high, minus 9.5. I don't think the Rockets covered at 9.5. So if you're feeling the Thunder, I would take that plus 9.5. We do have a Chris Paul coming back to Houston. This is a revenge game. We might see like a vintage Chris Paul game in this matchup. It is a possibility. There's revenge on both sides, but it's different for Chris Paul than it is for Westbrook. If this was in OKC, then I would say all in on Westbrook. But this one is in Houston. Chris Paul might feel some type of way from getting cut loose and basically switched for Westbrook. I might take that 9.5, but yeah, there's no reason to take the minus 530. I do see the Rockets winning, but if you want better odds, I would take the plus 9.5. Next game, the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Milwaukee Bucks. This is a no contest for me. I think you can bring this point line down because it's at 15.5. You can bring it down to like 10. Let's see, game lines. You can bring it to like 10 and get the minus 286. I think that's a definite. Milwaukee Bucks, pretty much the number one team in the Eastern Conference, going up against the Cleveland Cavaliers. They have a solid power forward and center combination with Kevin Love and Tristan Thompson, but that's not enough to handle Giannis, Brook Lopez, Eric Bledsoe. It's not enough. They're just going to shoot too many threes. And the Cavaliers like to run at a slow pace. It's not good. No, it's not good. We're going to go on to the next game. The Warriors against the New Orleans Pelicans with no Zion Williamson. And I believe that Drew Holiday is out as well. I got to double check that on my computer. You guys going to have to look that up. Let me see. Hold on. Let's see if we can find some information on Drew Holiday. He's a huge key to that New Orleans Pelicans offense. So far right now he's still questionable. We're not sure. So just watch out. Go to rotoworld.com and go to the NBA section and watch the news on there. They're gonna update you all the way up to 8 o'clock. So you can get news about if Drew Holiday is gonna play or not. But Pelicans, they're one of the faster paced teams in the league. So this over of 237 is very possible. Warriors has a horrible defense as well. But I do see the Warriors finally getting their first win. This is a perfect environment for Steph Curry, D'Angelo Russell, and Draymond Green to run up and down the floor and shoot threes all day long. And I definitely see the over, and I definitely like the plus 170 that you're getting from the Warriors in that matchup. Next game, we're moving on to the Portland Trail Blazers, San Antonio Spurs. In San Antonio, Greg Popovich ran team. You got the Portland Trailblazers on a back-to-back, go up against the Spurs. DeJounte Murray has looked like a freaking all-star so far this year. This is a tough matchup. I'm leaning more towards the San Antonio Spurs in this. I don't think they covered at -6 because Portland Trailblazers and Dame Lillard, he's going to put that team on his back, going to keep it close. They do not have Zach Collins on the Portland Trailblazers because he dislocated his shoulder. So I think that's a boost for Aldridge. He's going to be going up against a backup, and he's going to punish him in the paint. That's going to be huge for the San Antonio Spurs, and I think they get the win. All right. Next game, we have the Denver Nuggets, Sacramento Kings in Sacramento. It's a huge loss for the Sacramento Kings that they do not have a Marvin Bagley. He was a budding star for them. I think it's like 3-4 weeks because he has a broken thumb. But this Nuggets team is just too deep. Give me that -215, and I think they do cover that 5.5. I feel pretty confident in that Nuggets team. Jamal Murray, Jokic, Will Barton. All the Kings got right now is their point guard. I don't think it's enough. No, I don't think it's enough. I think the Nuggets definitely win. And if this was in Denver, it'll be a complete blowout. We're going to move on to the next game. Utah Jazz against the Phoenix Suns. Give me this 4.5. I'm telling you right now. This Phoenix Suns team, I don't know what's got into them. This is a totally different team. They don't get beat. They don't get blown out. They're a tough team. They beat the Clippers. If I can pull this up. All right, I'll pull it up. We have the Phoenix Suns 2-1. 2-1, they're first in the Pacific. I haven't seen that in so long. Utah Jazz 2-1 as well. But if you look at this, they took Denver to overtime in Denver, which was a shocker. Then they came back on a back-to-back. They left the altitude, went to the LA Clippers, who are clearly a better team, and they beat them. So I don't know what they're running right now, but I think this is a great price. You don't even mess with choosing a team. I think the Suns keep it close enough. Give me that 4.5 points and at -105. I love the Phoenix Suns today. Last but not least, we have the Charlotte Hornets on a back-to-back. They didn't really go anywhere because they played the Lakers the other day. So now today they play the Clippers in the same building against, like I said, the Clippers. So this is a stacked team. Clippers just lost. They definitely bounced back today, and they're going to cover that 15.5 that I think so. Give me the Clippers in this, and that's going to be it for the NBA. All right, we got all our picks. I gave you everything. If we just view the bet slip, I said I like the Pacers. I said take those points with the Knicks. 76ers, you could go with the money line or the points. I love the Raptors. I like the Thunder in the points. I like the Milwaukee Bucks in the points. I like the Warriors to get the first win. I love the Spurs. Nuggets in the points and the Suns in the points. Okay? Those are today's picks. That's today's video. In total, I appreciate you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, MessNetSD. Follow me on Twitter at the same thing, MessNetSD. Please subscribe. I have 84 subscribers right now. I want to push that to 90 by the end of the week. Please, guys, click that button, okay? Thank you for your support, and I'll have another video out for Thursday night and for the week 9 picks and stacks that did pretty well. So we're gonna hop back into it and see if we could do better, okay? Thank you, guys.